How these women are qualifying men nowadays, it would have you trying to prove yourself to a woman you ain't even interested in. What do you mean, Jerome? Let's say you online dating, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm online dating right now, but sometimes I'm talking to somebody I'm not really interested in. I'm not trying to manipulate them or waste no time, but I do like to have conversations to see how she's thinking. And maybe this 5 piece might say something that makes her look like a 7 or an 8 or a 9 in my brain. So I'll just be entertaining this woman, seeing how she thinks and getting an understanding, and because that's what matters to me. The intellectual maturity or emotional maturity is what I value. So if I date someone who's a 5 and above. I tell people that all the time. I date 5s and up, because if you are a 5 in my eyes, because attractiveness is subjective. So what I like, the next man might not like. There might be women that look at me and say, I don't like him, he's ugly. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing I can do about that, nothing that you can do about it. But if I see a woman that I think is a 5, she might be funny. She might be extremely smart. She might be somebody I can learn from. She might be somebody that knows how to hold a intellectual conversation. She might be deep. She might be spiritually inclined. There's other things that I will find valuable in her. I mean, you ever seen a woman, you said she has some pretty eyelashes, and she has a pretty smile, and I like her hair. It's women need to understand that real men who can look beyond your appearance, because a lot of these women nowadays, they think they get up in the morning, they get in the mirror and they make sure they right, but their attitude fucked up. I'm telling you, if I walked up on Beyonce, and if she was single, and I walked up on Beyonce and I tried to shoot my shot, and she was like, she gave me the stank face, or she had a nasty attitude or something like that, I lose interest fast. That toxic shit, that shit dead. Y'all women out here with these bobblehead, you bobblehead women, that's not attractive. Maybe in high school, maybe when we was teenagers and stuff like that, we thought that was cool and cute. And then maybe we would have been thinking like, ooh, she looks so good, she can act like a fool. And there still are men to this day, grown men, who will tolerate everything from a chick because she looks like a Barbie doll. I mean, she got the lashes, she got the makeup, she got the fake boobs, she got the fake butt, she got the long hair weave all the way down to her buns. She got the pedicure, the manicure, she got the Coach bag, she got the sundress with the thong on, and she just everything. And she smelling like roses and flowers and fruit. And this man, he done lost his mind. He's thinking to himself like, I don't care what she do, I just want to be in her presence. And she opened up her mouth, and you walking her to the car, and she stands at the car and looks at the door, and she's entitled, and she's like, we ain't going nowhere until you open up this door for me. That's another thing too. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all women. Men, we know how to treat y'all. And if a man ain't opening up the door, it ain't that he don't have no manners, or he don't it's that he don't like you like that. Okay? That's all that means. Because trust me, when a man meets a woman that he values and he don't want to go nowhere, he gonna open that door. You better not touch that door. He gonna reach for that door. I know. I've been in relationships before. When I'm with a woman, she don't touch the door. And if she touched the door, there's a problem. That means she mad at me. And then now I got to get in the car and be like, are we all right? You know what I'm saying? So, but I have also dated women where I just hit the lock, boop, boop, and let her get in. Because you ain't wifey. I don't care how good you look. You ain't wifey. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100 honest with you. So I be on the dating site talking to women 5s and up. And the way these women be trying to qualify me, sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, man, I catch myself trying to prove myself to somebody I don't even like. If I'm being honest. What do you mean? They ask these questions like, how tall are you? I'm short. So when I tell her how tall I am, then she gets trying to make me feel bad. I didn't have myself. I'm that's my phone alarm. I I didn't have me. I didn't make me. This is the package God put me in. I can't do nothing about that. But you get to trying to convince her like, oh, I mean, we can't just be friends. All, you get the feeling like you ain't never dated a short guy before. I mean, it might be fun, man. No, you know what I'm saying? Or how many baby mamas you got? And they, or do you live alone? Oh man, do you live alone, or do you get along with your kid's mother? They ask you these qualifying questions, right? And you find yourself answering these questions and trying to sound good and trying to see if you could still keep her attention, even if what you say isn't ideal. And the whole time, you might not even like this woman. You're starting to feel judged and uncomfortable by the conversation. And it's crazy. I recently had a situation. I'm going to tell you a little story where I was talking to this woman online and everything sounded so good. She said she was looking for a man of God. And I was like, I believe in God. I'm a Christian. And I told her, I said, you seem pretty cool. I'm interested in taking this conversation offline if you're interested. And she said, of course. And she gave me the number and we get offline and I call her on the phone. And we're having a conversation and she's asking me about my experience online. And I tell her what I do for a living and all that stuff like that. And I'm just talking and being regular. And this was a woman, one of her deal breakers, she said that was a man gotta love God. I absolutely love God, you know what I'm saying? And so I felt like, okay, that's it. I knew there was going to be more to the story later on, but what ended up happening in this conversation is she heard me cursing. And pretty much I was explaining to her about one of my videos where I was discussing, I was talking about, all the different types of women I run into online and what their motives be. And as soon as I see someone's motive doesn't line up with mine, I don't bother. But she didn't like the fact that I was categorizing women or putting women in different sections. She felt like I was being judgmental. And she said that her herself, she didn't fit in none of those categories. And it was my 5 categories. Or you got the women on there who's trying to promote her social media platform. You got the women on there that's trying to extort low value men. You got the women on there who are in relationship but they're seeking out outside validation. You got the women on there who just want to have hookups. And then the 5th woman is the woman who actually wants to date. And even in that section right there, it's still hard for men because you still might not have anything in common and you still might not like her, and she still might not be who she says she is. So, and that's the one you want. If you're trying to date, you go for the one who's in the category of one to date. And so she felt like she didn't like how I put women in categories and felt like I was being judgmental. And she told me that she doesn't, herself, she doesn't fit in none of those categories. I was like, well, one of the questions I asked you was, what were your intentions on that site? And you said you were looking to date. So you obviously fit in the category of dating, and then she turned on me. The energy shifted where she was like, and you didn't properly represent yourself. You said you were a Christian. I said, I am a Christian. And she said, yeah, but you're cursing. And in the Bible, it's very strict on cursing. And I thought to myself, I felt convicted. And I thought to myself, you're all right, but I am still a Christian, even though I sin. Nobody's perfect. I pray every day, but you're right. But I said, but there's certain things that I'm able to do out of my faith in my Christianity, that still, that still makes me, a Christian. She said, like what? And I said, like, I don't have any tattoos. And I think tattoos are cool. No judgment against anybody who has tattoos. Like, I was trying to explain to her that God deals with each one of his children individually. And for me, he's dealing with me on a whole different level, the things that he chastised me in, and he wants me to be more disciplined in. And it's like, I feel like God is teaching me in sections. He's not trying to have me do everything at once. He's like, master this, and then you graduate to the next level, and I need you to master that. And so there's things that he's working on me with, and I mastered the level of not having tattoos, because in the Bible it says, you shouldn't have engravements or carvings or stuff like that on your body. And this woman, she said that her father used to, or still is, a preacher. So I was like, okay, now I see why she's so heavy on the religion, which is not a problem, but I didn't like the fact that she was trying to give me a grade like I was a certain level of Christian. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'm a Christian. I don't know how to grade a top tier Christian and low tier Christian. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a Christian. But what ended up happening was I asked her if she was straight or if she was bi, and she said she's an ex-lesbian. I said, how long were you a lesbian? She said, for about 10 years. I said, okay, what happened? She was like, oh, me and my ex-husband, we were separated, and I started talking to women. So, and you were being intimate with women while you were married. But you're judging me for cursing. I'm not a real Christian because I curse. I use my mouth to curse. You use a mouth to lick on women. But you're better than me. You're a better Christian. You're more of a top tier Christian than me. And I thought it was weird because I thought this woman was attractive. We had a lot in common. And we couldn't talk because she was a self-righteous woman who felt like she was morally superior to me. And she had something to teach me about the Bible. And one other thing I remember her saying is, I said, yeah, a couple of the 10 commandments I break, I'm not justifying that, but I'm a human. I sin, I flaw. She said, well, actually, there's over 700 commandments. I was like, I didn't know that. I did look it up, and there are, but it was just like, well, I know I'm going to fail at being a Christian then, because I don't know all 700 of the commandments. And I sure can't do them all at the same time. So I was being judged by somebody who had no room to judge me. And like I said, she fit in the category of dating. That's why we ended up talking. And then we ended up not talking because we weren't compatible. And we weren't compatible even though we both were Christian, because she felt superior to me in our Christianity. I stand on my point. My stance remains the same. It is looking bad for us, gentlemen, because there's no way I should have been having a spiritual debate with someone else who serves the same God I serve. And last I checked, you shouldn't be self-righteous. That is toxic. That's why in schools and churches or public places, we don't talk about religion or politics, because it's an argument starter. But why would a woman try to argue with me about religion? I mean, if she felt like she had something that she wanted to teach me or talk to me about, she could have taken a different approach. But she was self-righteous. And obviously what I said, or my energy, rubbed her the wrong way. And how that story ends, she hung up on me. This spiritual woman, this rude spiritual woman, hung up on me. And I know she hung up on me because I heard a little ruffle before the phone call dropped. Like she was like, shoot. And then I didn't get a text message back saying, hey, my phone died. And I never got a phone call back. So I just went ahead and blocked her. I don't need that energy in my life. But fellas, again, man, it's looking sketchy. Okay, it's looking real sketchy out here, man. I'm laughing. Like I said before, online dating or dating in 2024 is either going to be frustrating or hilarious, depending on your point of view. And for me right now, it's hilarious. I'm secure in my manhood. I know who I am. I know who I am spiritually. I believe in God. I know God loves me, and I love God back. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful for everything. My family, my kids. Please, you can't let these people get you off your path. You can't let these people knock you down. These women, the way these women are qualifying us men, they will have you explaining yourself and feeling bad about who you are, because obviously in order for her to feel good, she got to put you down. It's a problem out here. It's a problem. Good luck, y'all, man. I'll be back in a minute, man. Hopefully y'all like the content and you like and subscribe. I'm Jerome. This is the Superb Word. Be with you in a minute.